our server last night went from 100 pop to I think it was 40 when nighttime arrived, and we only have nighttime for 20 minutes.
This is a comment that we had in chat, and it sort of is a little bit related in that, with the environmental issue. Now, what's the point of night and rain? Just to log and wait it out? Do DayZ devs not see a problem with 99% of servers limiting or removing weather and the day-night cycle completely? This is a comment by one of the people in the Discord. Is a Scarecrow. The only pro of playing during rain or night is the sheer fact that the entire server just left the game. People wonder what it would be like if DayZ had a season rotation. What would happen if just a handful of servers running it? Maybe some niche picks like the Molsk or some of the survival enthusiast servers. Why add brutal season conditions when you can't keep a server alive during the 5 minutes of rain or the 20 minutes of night? Now, I thought this was an interesting discussion, but I love the rain and the nighttime cycles. Yeah, it's when it starts going dark. I love playing DayZ. One of the main reasons for me is the range that the infected can detect you drops. So it's almost safer, not just because there's less people on, but it's harder for the infected to pick you up. And if you've got a basic understanding of how to survive, get a heat buff or wring your clothes out and dry yourself off afterwards, you don't need to worry about getting the flu. And the flu doesn't really do anything to you in any case. But I thought it was an interesting discussion. What do you reckon, lad?
Mate, I've been waiting for this topic. I think people who complain about rain and nights need to get good. Straight up, they need to get good. Like DayZ, it's a survival game. You're always going to have that day-night cycle. You're always going to have different and adverse weather conditions. The whole point of it is you have to adapt to your surroundings. You have to adapt to the weather in order to be able to survive effectively. And honestly, I wish all servers would run the darker nights setting, where everything is purely pitch black, because there's no light pollution. Everything is going to be pitch black, apart from obviously what is there in the moonlight. And when it comes to the rain, honestly, I wish they would improve it. I wish they would go back to what it used to look like in 0.62. Back then, it looked beautiful and it sounded really, really nice. But we got what we have now, which it's not bad, but it's definitely been better. But going back to the actual topic, it's like, just get good.
Well, I did forget that he did elaborate on it. And this is why I singled it out as a comment worthy of discussion. I think DayZ rewards risk aversion in this sense too much. Why engage in a gunfight if you can just log? Why fight a wolf pack after they howl when you can just log? Why do anything when you can just log and ask a friend to pick up the slack and meet you where you're at? I think DayZ needs to work on its soft skills and integrate a way to profit off your own suffering. Add a multiplier to playing in the rain. Make it so that when you survive a medical condition, you're less likely to suffer from it. I think soft skills can add pros to playing in life-threatening situations. Maybe a hardiness meter. Maybe you can carry more weight. Hell, maybe your beard grows faster or longer. Something to reward those who play in adverse conditions, not hinder those who do not. Now, Steve, I think there's some merit to what he said there.
I mean...
Yeah, sorry. Go on.
No, you go on, mate. Go on.
A lot of stuff that he says there would bring like a lot of more life into servers, let's say in like, let's say nighttime situation and so on, because it gives you like a real reason to go through this certain situation. So I really like what he says there and totally agree with that DayZ needs something like this.
Anything that will make you value your character's life more, Spud, is a win in my eyes.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and the thing is, look, half of me actually agrees with Lad, and that anybody who logs off at night or doesn't like the rain should get good. But the other half is Our server last night went from 100 pop to I think it was 40 when nighttime arrived, and we only have nighttime for 20 minutes. And so I think whilst there's a certain percentage of the player base that actually do enjoy night, and we won't get rid of it. We're going to carry on with it. Yes, I think we do have to find a happy medium around actually trying to attract other people to stay on the server during nighttime and experience the full DayZ experience, including nighttime. I mean, I even saw a new person in our Discord the night before last night. I just had to bite my tongue when his comment was, "Oh, the night's so dark and it's so long. I couldn't see anything without a light." And I'm like, did you fucking go outside at night time, mate? It's like, seriously?
See, no. I don't want to sound too rude, like when it comes down to it, but like, yeah, I definitely agree that DayZ needs to really start to focus a lot of attention on its soft skills to make them actually work as effectively as possible. Make it so you definitely benefit from nighttime runs. I mean, there's quite a few benefits in terms of the PvE aspect and PvP aspect of traveling during the night and during the rain. But you can't. How do I explain it? No matter what the DayZ devs do, no matter what modders do to try and make nighttime perfect as possible, people are not going to play it. People are going to look because it's too difficult for them, because they just don't know how to play it. And it's like, again, just there's been. I don't know. I can't find the right words without being extremely rude. Fuck.
You're missing out on part of the DayZ experience, Marks, is what I reckon.
You are.
Yeah, it depends what server you're on. Like when I do be on the vanilla servers and it comes nighttime, like nighttime of them are long, like they're very long. And depending on the vanilla server, it's really dark, and most of the server does be empty by the time nighttime rolls around. So it's like you have to kind of like, as me as a player at that stage, I'm mainly when I'm on the official servers, I'm looking for PvP. So do I sit and wait to try and find somebody around, which is going to be very hard because they're either sitting inside or logged off, or do I log off, go to a different server that's daytime, and then switch back in 40 minutes to that server again when everybody's after logging back on? But like if you're on a PvP server where MVGs are easy to find and stuff, then people are not going to log off as much. I think anyway, but I could be wrong.
I mean, when it comes to like the night vision aspect, night vision is really bloody cool, and I think all servers, no matter if it's fully PvP, like 1,000,000% loot or whatever, I don't fucking care. NVGs should always be at a minimum. They are like the ultimate kind of tool to have on your character, and you will have a really, really good advantage. Only with certain optics, though. Obviously, the only Russian optic that allows night vision is obviously the big, massive fucking one that you could probably knock somebody out with. The fact that there isn't an American one or NATO is weird, but there you go. But darker nights or rain or just night in general, it is such a core part of the game. And if people actually sit down and give it a chance, you might actually find it to be really beneficial for you and your squad, especially if you're doing PvP. You're able to get around a bit quicker at night because people can't really see you unless obviously they have NVGs, which means you can get to places much more safely to get really, really good loot. You're much more safer when you're looting Northwest Airfield, for example, and compared to the daytime. But people don't really think about that. They're just like, oh, I can't see 10 feet in front of me or whatever. And obviously this may just being a bit sarcastic. I'm going to log off and play another server. And it's like, what is the point? Like, I just don't understand it. There's a lot of things that I try and understand when it comes to a DayZ player, because DayZ, you can play it in so many different ways. But the nighttime and the rain, I can't fathom. I just can't.
Well, the probably the best comment in this whole discussion in the Discord was from Melbourne. I agree that there should be more reward in soft skills, but it comes down to skill. Rarely have I not been able to find NVGs on official. And if you give your character the necessary nutrients, you virtually cannot get sick. I can count on my hand how many times I've logged because of the conditions. What would be helpful is if the community shared more helpful information like this. And he linked to Wobo's video. And he's bang 110% on the money. People need to learn to play DayZ. I'm sorry that you were avoiding being offensive. I'm going to be offensive. Get fucking good. Get good. I die to players. I rarely die to the elements. Usually, if I die to the elements, it's because I made a stupid mistake. I rushed it or something like that. No. That's on me. That's not on the game. If you don't like that, go find a baby server that makes it fucking easy, where you can, you spawn with a fucking bag of rice and fucking a full water bottle or something like that. A little bit of research. Yeah, you've got these videos. Archie Stormcloud did a whole pile of videos on how to survive cholera. Even those diseases that for 99% of the player base are fatal, you can survive them. You can beat them. I think it'd be great is if you beat cholera, you get a better immunity to it. That'd be a really interesting little soft skill. Again, it'd make you value your character more. Maybe I'm being too harsh. What do you reckon, Marks?
I think people just need to build a bridge and get over it, and just that's why we have so many different servers. You don't want the rain, don't like the night. There's a server there for you. If you like the rain, they like the night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. You are right there. Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, people will play the game the way they want it. Maybe it's not the way we all agree.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the reason we have different servers, and I think just leave people do what they want.
At the end of the day, no matter how much, Boydie and I complain about players not wanting to play at night, at the end of the day, you are right. DayZ, it's one of those few unique games where you can play any way you want, and if you only want to play in daytime servers, go for it. As you said, Spud, you only have nighttime for 20 minutes, was it?
Yeah.
20 minutes, and people still think that's too long. It's just whatever. But yeah, you are right. You are, at the end of the day, you are right. But I still think people are missing out on nighttime gameplay. Really, at least they need to give it a full proper shot before they can make a full judgment. But that's just me. That's just how I think.